Hello and welcome to this live broadcast on this 13th day of August. This is News Now, where we tell you all the stories that are making headlines right now, and it starts now with the highlights. The highlights. Voices from the ruins. Baringo landslide survivors plead for urgent relocation.
Kama inawezekana afuatilie kwa haraka ili tupate makao mpya.
Also, Kirinyaga will not budge. Governor Waiguru declares unwavering support for President Ruto's agenda as Gen Z revolt sends waves.
6 kutoka Wizara ya Afya inaonesha Kirinyaga inaongoza katika nchi ya Kenya na magonjwa yale yanaitwa lifestyle diseases.
Also, the Senate is set to hold a special sitting Wednesday to consider the impeachment charges against Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza. All right, welcome once again. My name is Hibak Said. To start us off, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi earlier today convened a special Senate sitting for the hearing of the impeachment motion against the embattled Meru County Governor Kawira Mwangaza, who was impeached by the members of the Meru County Assembly on Thursday last week. The embattled governor will face her third impeachment motion after being saved by the Senate in October 2023. 49 members voted in support of the ouster of the embattled governor, with only 17 members voting against the motion, which was tabled by the Meru County Assembly members' majority leader Zipporah Kinya. Let's move to Baringo County, where survivors of landslides in Chabogol village, Baringo North, have narrated the ordeal they went through the night when the world came crumbling down after heavy rains, which led to the loss of 5 people. The victims, who are now camping at Kasisit Primary School, are appealing to the President, William Ruto, to resettle them elsewhere. The area member of parliament, Joseph Makilap, who visited the victims, said more than 35 families were displaced by the disaster, and five urging the government to look for an alternative land for the victims.
Ndio tukasikia kuna kitu imepast jini. Ndio nikatoka nje kufika chikuni kuangalia kuna maji. Nikaingia kwa nyumba. Kufika kwa room kukaa chini kidogo hivi. Mchanga ikasukuma nyumba. Nyumba mbao ikakatika. Sasa kuna matope yenye iliingia kabisa nyumba kubwa sana. Ikasukuma kitanda ya watoto. Nikapitisha watoto kwa dirisha. Kufika nje kentangi kaanguka. Kuanguka tukakimbia kwa gogo. Kukimbia kwa gogo, kufika kwa gogo kukaa chini tukasikia nduru. Ndiye pasinya wako chini. Kukimbia kuangalia ni mama na wasichana wake wawili wamefunikwa na mchanga.
So chenye nataka tu serikali kama inawezekana afuatilie kwa haraka ili tupate makao mpya chenye tunafurahia. Huko sisi aturuti tena. Aturuti. Kama tumetoka sahi aturuti, tutaishi hapa shule mpaka serikali atuambie ya kwamba tutaenda wapi.
Tumekubaliana na serikali kwamba watu ambao wanaishi sehemu ile dangerous, sababu watu ya geology wamesema sehemu hiyo ni mbaya. Serikali itafanya kila juhudi na ile wizara ya Kenya Forest Service ili waweze kufanya ile kitu inaitwa land exchange na Kenya Forest Service, ndio sehemu hiyo yote tupandie miti na hawa watu ya hapa waweze kusaidiwa pale lingine ya kuishi.
Now, Makueni Senator Dan Manzo has announced that the Wiper Party will back Generation Z youth in their bid for various positions in the 2027 elections. Speaking to the press, Manzo called on more young people to register as voters, emphasizing the need to replace leaders who have not fulfilled their responsibilities. This announcement follows recent challenges faced by efforts to register a Gen Z political party.
We also want to encourage the Gen Zs, once they register as voters, to join political parties. And Wiper is open to receive all the Gen Zs who want to run for seats and have been denied an opportunity to form their own party. We can sponsor you to run for various seats in the country. And again also, this month, 2 years are over since we were elected, and the Gen Zs who are unhappy now with a lot in Parliament, because now Parliament is simply a rubber stamp of the executive. There's nothing Parliament is doing for Kenyans. They are passing the law as it is proposed by the executive, and they are just idling and without doing what Kenyans sent them to do in the House, which is to represent them. They are now representing the executive instead of representing Kenyans. And therefore, now the recall clause can be applied. The recall clause can be applied. Kenyans who are unhappy with their members of Parliament can now recall them by collecting signatures. Soon IBC will be formed, and if Kenyans know and have sufficient information to make sure that those who are not performing or who are just voting for the sake of voting can be recalled, and that will force the members of Parliament to get doing what Kenyans send them to the House to do.
Moving on, the Cabinet Secretary of Labour and Social Protection, Dr. Alfred Mutua, met with the Kenya National Union of Teachers NAT officials concerning the national teachers strike tension. According to the NAT Secretary General, Collins Oyu said that they have presented their grievances that have been causing unrest among teachers. However, the Cabinet Secretary assured the union that he will convene with the NAT representatives in a week's time to assess the progress and continue with the dialogue.
I have today held a meeting with the leadership of the Kenya National Union of Teachers. We've been hearing some grumbling in terms of issues that they have had, and as I promised during my vetting, that we will be arresting issues way before any industrial action, so that we can find out how we can solve problems in a harmonious way, make it comfortable for employers, make it comfortable for employees to be able to work together so that we can increase productivity in our country.
We had written to Teachers Service Commission about several grievances which we wanted Teachers Service Commission to respond to. What brought us here, away from the fact that we want to appreciate and welcome Waziri into the ministry, is one other step of registering with Waziri that we have a dispute with the employer. That is exactly what we've done, and I want to appreciate the move that he has taken. He has told us clearly that he's taking up the matter, and in a week's time, he shall have addressed it with the employer.
The youth in 8 counties are currently receiving training in Homa Bay to enhance their involvement in leadership, accountability, and budget-making processes. According to the chairman of the Volunteer Involving Organizations, Mesha Kodede, saying that the initiative aims to educate the youth in order to boost social accountability and bring about significant changes in their regions.
We have said here things can mean according to you. Just put it in your own words, yes. The different sectors of the department. The track.
People who have been brought here are coming from 8 counties, which, according to the Office of the Budget Controller, did not or performed the last 8 of the 47 counties. And those are Kilifi, Homa Bay, Migori, Wajir, Trans Nzoia, and Isiolo and Wajir. So
because the public is not involving us directly, there's a lot of information that we don't get from them. So I believe this, I request the Africa First DG and the different partners to extend this, to move it to different counties.
Start advocating more for youths to go and participate in these budget making processes, and to remove the mentality that in participating in budget making processes and public participation, you have to be given something.
We have learned about tech activism. This is the use of technology to advocate for issues in our society that are affecting us. It's not a matter of who is going first and who is going last, but it is for the benefit of our community.
Elsewhere, Kenyans have been urged to get knowledge on career pathways of their children at the early age and help them choose their careers well, according to their ability, mostly for those who are transitioning from lower secondary to upper secondary. Parents were at the same time challenged to help their children in attaining the best by exposing them to all that is required. This was during the launch of Gravity Career Pathways and Career Model Structured Training, which is aimed at boosting the CBC education system.
You take a walk to know exactly what is there.
So when we identify those careers, then we can say for them to get these careers, they need to do this, choose these learning areas in senior school. And for them to choose these learning areas, they need to get through this path. So if we do that way, we'll be able to help our learners to understand how the transition or the pathways will be done.
Find that whatever is being given by NEC, if all the facilitators, that is the teachers, followed it well, we are not going to have a footballer being placed in a career of music. We are not going to have a doctor who will be put maybe to be a businessman. Everybody will go according to their abilities, because CBC will have identified their career strengths and potentials right from the lower grade up to the grade 9.
Personally, I like CBC because I can see that the future of our children will be achieved greatly through CBC. Our future will really depend on how much we support the talents of our children.
Because learning is a process, and every day we learn something new. And especially coming down now from the 844 to the CBC, they need to learn more. There's quite a lot to learn, and we encourage them to take advantage.
Nami ningependa kusema kwamba madirector wa mashule, especially private schools, kama wanaweza kujua Gravity CBC Center na kulete walimu na kulete wanafunzi ili waje kuweza kufunguka zaidi akili zao.
So our model caters for the training for teachers as well as parents, including the runners.
All right, Meru health workers' strike has entered the 13th day, paralyzing operations in all public facilities. This follows complaints from workers over alleged inadequate staffing, a lack of promotion, and other unresolved grievances. The workers say their arrears were to be factored in the 2024-2025 budget, which has not yet happened.
Wakati hii serikali ilichukua usukani, tulikuwa na shinda katika hii huduma na kwa hii department. Wakatueleza ya kwamba the budget is not theirs. We wait until they prepare their budget. They prepare the budget of 2023-2024. There's nothing that was included. We have another budget today that is ongoing. And that is why I want to clarify this. Kuna wale wanasema eti tumetoka kwa sababu kuna impeachment. We want to say no. Ours, it is a continuity process. Sisi tunajua, na sisi tunasema muimpeach ama msiimpeach, sisi tunasema lazima wahudumu wa afya waajiriwe. Tunasema hivyo. Tunasema waimpeach ama wasiimpeach, sisi tunataka kupandishwa gazi. Because this is the third year. You cannot tell us to wait.
Kuwe wagumu, tuongeze sauti, na serikali lazima itasikiza watu ambao wameamua kwa pamoja. Kwa hiyo sisi tunasema promotion kwa wote. Kila mtu aseme promotion kwa wote. Promotion kwa wote. Promotion kwa wote.
We go back to our top story. Of course, another angle to the story. A section of women from Meru County have now called upon President William Ruto and his government to ensure that Douglas Kanja is approved by the Parliament as the Inspector General of the Police, and that Meru County Governor Kawira Mwangaza is saved from her third impeachment. The women argued that Kanja is well fit for that position after having served for over 25 years. They further stated that they believe in Kanja's competence to ensure security in the country. They also asked the Senate to spare Governor Kawira Mwangaza, who is facing her third impeachment.
Tunawaomba bunge wetu, tunamuomba Kanja akikuya mpitisha, kwa sababu tunamuona ule ni mtu anaweza saidia wamama, saidia walemavu. Akikuja huko kwenu msimteme, mumpitishe. Nataka kumshukuru Mama Kawira kwa yale nimeona ametenda. Ilianza mambo ya gavana, tumepita gavana wengine wawili. Sijawahi ona gavana mwingine amefanya kazi ile mama anafanya.
Naomba bunge yetu ya National Assembly, kuna mtoto mmoja anaitwa Kanja, ni mzee ambaye alikuwa anafanya kazi ya serikali, ameifanya kwa GSU. Kwa hivyo naomba bunge yetu tupitizieni Kanja, hata sisi watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu na akina mama tuwe na mkubwa mmoja tu kwa serikali ya Ruto, yule tutakuwa tunategemea askari.
Napenda mama. Naongelea kuhusu mama. Mama ametufanyia maendeleo mingi sana. Senators, na waomba senators, Sifuna na kuomba Sifuna, wacheni mama abaki pale pale.
Right. A section of Kericho leaders have called upon President William Ruto to consider appointing a member from Kericho region to take up the gender ministry slot following the rejection by the vetting committee of Stella Soy Langat. Speaking during an empowerment program led by Kericho Governor Dr. Eric Mutai and Woman Representative Beatrice Kamei, the leaders insist that Kericho is a United Democratic Alliance Party stronghold, making the county the right fit to have a ministerial representative.
We had Stella Soy, who was a CS nominee, and for one or the other reason, he kind of evil. I still want to thank the president and still appeal, and I know that we are going to get a replacement from Kericho County. This one is an assurance. We are going to get a replacement from Kericho County, and I know that what we are looking for is servant leadership. Whoever is given a position should know that power belongs to the people. And even as we look into this cabinet, I thank the president, because right now we have a very broad-based government which is cutting us all the way from coast and all the way to Kisumu, and every Kenyan is part of government. And I think William Ruto will go in history as the first president who chose to put aside any self-interest and create a government for everybody and for wananchi. And as Kericho County, we still appeal and request that in his consideration, he still give us the CS position back to Kericho County. Kericho County is a stronghold of the president. And I know with the many of our votes, definitely the president also give us a position here.
In Kericho County, we had a position given to Stella Soy. I'm still pleading with the president to look into that issue and give us the same position as Kericho County. Na hiyo kitu tutafurahia sana. Hiyo position of cabinet secretary. The new cabinet that has been formed will serve the people of Kenya equally, not depending on where they come from, the language they are speaking, or the resources they have and what they don't have. All of us require resources. If it is water, if it is electricity, if it is empowerment, issues of agriculture, all of us require. And I ask the president to keep up the good work.
Let's move to Siaya County, where Governor James Orengo has vowed to support Gen Z's planned protest by seeking clarification on the controversial lease of the Yala Swamp. The youth expressed their woes and dismay while marking International Youth Day yesterday. They are now seeking answers as to why Lake Agro Limited Company has established any sugar mill in the area. The county boss has assured his commitment towards developing the county's economy.
Niwajulishie watu wa Siaya, the lease that transferred the interest in the land in Dominion and in Yala Swamp, the county government of Siaya was not party to it. In fact, we have challenged it. We have challenged it. We have challenged it. And that must be recognized that that land belongs to the people of Siaya.
We want also the sugar factory to be planted here so that the catchment area and more so other people from other areas should also benefit from it. Instead of taking it away, it should be installed here so that we should benefit from the factory, as it will employ both women and men, and then this catchment area will move forward.
And we move to the coastal region where the Kilifi County government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Farm Africa and its partners in implementing the Youth Sustainable Aquaculture Program. The Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mung'aro said the program aims to empower youth and women in creating employment and also supporting fish farmers through a catalytic fund in the form of grants and loans which will ease their farming activities.
Sana Farm Africa kwa sababu ile mipango amekuja nayo. Kwanza kutakuwa na dola milioni 3 za kutoa kama mswada wa ukulima huu ambazo itakuwa ni grants. Ya pili itakuwa milioni 5 ambayo itakuwa ni watu kukopa wakulima kufanya uvuvi wa samaki na upishi. Tutaanza mara moja. Tayari Farm Africa wameshafungua ofisi hapa Mnawani ya kuweza kufanya kazi na wizara yetu ya kilimo ili iweze na uvuvi ili iweze kusukuma mradi huu.
Sisi tuko hapa kuendeleza ama kuungana na county kwa ile kazi already washaanza na wanaendelea. To make sure that vijana wetu wanapata ajira na tunawatafutia mbinu tofauti ambazo wanaweza kupata ajira.
Now, communities living around Gikomba and Isli area in Nairobi are undertaking a waste management program to help them properly collect and manage waste that comes from the business hubs. Different community-based organization representatives dealing with garbage collection have also embarked on a journey to educate the community on how to turn waste into wealth through a circular economy model, further educating them on waste segregation and curbing health complications that come with improper disposal of hazardous waste.
So hii forum ya leo imetufungua macho, tumekutana na mapartner na tumeweza kujifunza vitu kama Producer Responsibility Organization na tumejifunza kama Sustainable Waste Management Act yenye inasema kila mtu anafaa kugawa takataka zake ama kuzisegregate kulingana na pale zinatoka. So leo kama hiyo mafunzo ya segregation inatusaidia sana sisi kama wazoaji taka. Ndio tuweze kuenda pia katika jamii na tuelimishe wale watu ambao tunawahudumia.
Waste affects everyone, every and each of us. So when we have this conversation on understanding what are the issues that we can get from waste, improper disposal, when you don't segregate waste, what are the issues that we get? So the conversation that we are having with the community is to show them, if you have plastic, what can you do with that plastic? You know, there's a lot of waste. Can you segregate that waste? And probably it becomes a resource. When you sell, it gives you money. And that is what we are trying to show the youths here so that they can be able to have that mindset of waste is wealth and change the mindset of waste is just waste.
Women representatives are calling for peace in the country, saying women and children are the hardest hit in cases of unrest in the country. The leaders speaking in Kigumo constituency in Murang'a County, Murang'a Women Representative Betty Maina said that the Deputy President's impeachment are political noises that should not be given attention. Nonetheless, the women urged leaders to embrace peace and work together so as to achieve the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto.
And all the time,
serikali ni kama forest, yani inatoshea kila mtu, na simona imetoshea. Kwa hivyo tutumie wakati ambao tuko ndani ya serikali kuleta maendeleo na kuitumia kufanya kazi zetu ambazo tunahitaji kufanya. Sawa sawa.
Akisema maneno ya ukabila, mbona sisi tunaleta ukabila hapa kwetu? Lazima tujue Kenya ni moja. Hata ikiwa ni mlima ama ni Rift Valley ama ni coast ama ni wherever, Kenya ni moja.
Tafadhalini sana tusikuwe na hiyo siasa duni, tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumeimarisha na tumehubiri nini? Amani. Madada zangu hao wote tumeamua tutaenda tukizunguka kaunti zote. Hao pia watakuja Mandera.
Akina mama tushikilie amani ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Kwa sababu pasipo amani